welcome to Woody's Roundup. This episode, we are going to talk about resort hopping. And we welcome you guys. We thank you so much for joining us. We talk all things do's, don'ts, Disney, dreaming. We feel like we're Imagineers. However, we are not. But we wish we were. How you doing, Woody?
There's a snake in my boot, so you're welcome.
Oh, he's full of it. He is full of them.
It is Woody. My name is,
Yeah,
it is Woody. W-O-D-Y.
We love you. So we're going to talk today about resort hopping, something that probably others may or may not call it.
I don't know. Is it a thing? If it is, I don't know. We didn't maybe trademark the term, but we just called it that. So go ahead. Yeah.
So let me tell you how I found out about resort hopping, and then I will tell you how I roped Woody into it. No pun intended. So I was a teacher for many years, high school teacher, and I went with a group of kids. We brought about, I think it was like 75 high school seniors to Disney, and there was about 5 of us as far as chaperones that went down. And one of the ladies on the trip, one of the other chaperones said, listen, we'll drop the kids off at the park and they will all be safe. And then we're going to head over to the Polynesian and sit by the pool. And in this moment, I went, what? You can just go to other resorts? And so it started me thinking, Woody and I are going down this fall. So that was in the spring. So then the next fall, we went on our honeymoon and we had a little more extra time than we had planned. And it was one of these things where we either stay in our room or we go to other rooms, and not necessarily that, but more resorts. And so let's talk about that. Let's talk about resort hopping. Let's discuss it. And then let's just talk about why we love doing it.
Yeah. So our first day, since we've gone so many times, we bought less park tickets this year. And we got the park hopper because we wanted to kind of sandwich everything in, to the few days and just kind of bounce around. So the whole first day, we didn't have a park ticket. And that's all we did. And we woke up, and first this year we stayed at Coronado, Coronado Springs. And it was wonderful and updated. The last time we went there was 2011 for our honeymoon.
Right.
And so the additions to Coronado were fantastic.
Yes.
That tower, was it Gran Destino?
Destino
Tower was unreal. We pulled up and it was beautiful.
We could do a whole episode on Coronado Springs.
Yeah, we'll do that. All right. So
we really could.
Yeah.
We will.
All right. So, but when we got there Monday, we didn't have a lot to do. Like we stayed and we were well rested. We slept great. We woke up. We were like, let's go resort hopping. Right. And so then, we bounced around to just about every resort in Disney.
Yes.
And it was wonderful. And we were more exhausted Monday night than what we are when we go to the park.
So we check in and we get in our room. And we love the room. We love walking in to seeing Welcome Watts Family on the TV.
And then they had this little scene on the TV, the little ducks and the... it's
I love it. Everything Disney does. But Coronado Springs nailed it. They had our Mickey-shaped towels on the bed. And, it just is that breath.
Everything you want.
Yeah, everything you want when you go and spend the type of money. We are very frugal. When we get to stay at Coronado Springs, it is a blessing. We are Pop Century Value Resort all day, but this was a special occasion. It was our anniversary.
We got a good deal. I have no clue
how,
but we got a little discount. I guess we just booked it at the right time.
We did. So, and we will talk about that on other episodes, just how to go on Disney with a dime. We've done it before. We've done it for less than $1,000. So we could have a whole nother discussion on that. But in this case, we checked in, we dropped our bags off, and we kind of got to know the new Coronado Springs. And so we walked around. We were amazed. We Grand Destino, amazing. The new sort of facilities, the way that they changed a little bit of the facades on some of the existing buildings, the pool, everything they added there, just bravo. You know, it is
so well done. It was nice
beautiful-
before, but now,
Yeah,
it's
Yeah.
at the top. Like
It is.
you'll want to stay there.
you want to stay there. So Coronado Springs, by far, I think is still going to be one of our tops. We could rank the resorts if we wanted to, but we're definitely going to be Coronado Springs people.
And just to know, so when we resort hop, we have like criteria that we kind of take notes on. So it's like, so being that we're two adults without children, we always look at the vibe of the resort.
Yes.
So we immediately know when we always head for the lobby, the main lobby, right? The hub of the resort. And when we go in there, you instantly know, like, is this a family resort,
Right.
or is this like a business type resort, or is this for like the honeymooners, or so it's like, and our preference is very chill.
Yes.
You know, so Coronado, super chill.
Yeah.
Like you walk in and it is just like, it's us. I mean, the theme is okay.
Yeah.
Like it's not but who cares? Like, you know, in the end, but like, as far as the vibe, the crowd at
Yes.
that resort, it is for
Unmatched.
two adults that don't have kids. Absolutely 120% recommend Coronado.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell our listeners how to hop. So just kind of explain, like, for example, how do you even start?
Okay. Well, you have to put in a little bit of work. Okay. It's not that easy. And you really, when you go to Disney, go for a couple years and just enjoy the parks, enjoy Disney Springs, and then resort hop, because like it's a little bit of work. All right. So now this is Skyliner. Skyliner, which we talk about later, helps out a whole lot.
Oh,
okay.
yes.
So our original, because when we got there this year, so you wake up and you have to go to a park.
Yeah.
Okay. At least this is the way we do it. If somebody else knows a better way, please let us know. All right. So you take the bus to any park, basically. Okay. So like we would always pick Hollywood Studios because Hollywood Studios was super close to Coronado. So the bus ride was really short. So we would go to Coronado to Hollywood. Then from we get right off the bus stop. Don't go to the front gate of Hollywood. Just turn at the bus sign and pick a resort.
Yeah.
So you pick a resort you want to go to. So then we would turn and just go down the bus line and pick a resort. And then we would ride that bus to the resort and then keep rinse and repeat, basically.
Right.
Like, you know, and you just, and the good thing about this is, one, you really get to see the food offerings because each one is slightly different.
Yes.
And an interesting tidbit is that we noticed some resorts are somehow cheaper than others.
Yes.
We did not know that before. And if we're wrong, feel free to correct us. But I swear we paid $7.99 for the Mickey Ears waffles at Coronado.
Yeah.
And over at Caribbean, they were paying $6 something.
That's
you know?
right.
So,
That's right.
But resort hopping. So I think one of the first ones we went to was that we had not been to was Port Orleans. Port Orleans. That was one that has been on our list for quite a while to visit because of the style.
Yes.
You know, that was really our style. So, all right. So when we went there, what did you think of that resort? And I think we got off at the French Quarter.
We did.
Yeah.
Because we were just fake it till you make it. That's sort of what we thought. We thought, we're going to act like we stay here. You know, like
Yeah, nobody really cares.
And nobody
it's just
cares.
us. Like we're to ourselves. We're like, we don't want to see like
Yeah,
resort.
yeah.
And I guarantee you 95% of the people walking by us were doing the same thing we were doing. But in our head, we were spies.
Oh, yeah.
We were like James Bond walking through the halls like,
Undercover.
"Dun, dun, they're going to catch us.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you know.
So we get to the first bus stop and I look at him, he looks at me, and it's sort of this, let's get off here. And it was French Quarter. Wow. Loved it.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Small.
Yep.
So the first impression was, oh, this is boutique. This is cute. I love this. Because we had just seen the Grand Destino and it was like, whoa, I mean, convention size resort. When you get off at the French Quarter stop, it is so beautiful. You can actually smell beignets. Like they make it so that you truly feel like you are transported to the French Quarter in New Orleans, and it was magic.
I love the streets too. Like that's, I know it
Yes.
sounds weird, but like, where we live is a historic town that has a lot of sidewalks
Yes.
and street lamps, and we've always gravitated to that, like little downtowns. And so this resort in particular really offered that. Like
Yes.
the roads are cute brick. They have street lamps.
It makes you feel like when you are walking from your hotel room to the resort lobby or to the food courts, you're walking down streets of Paris.
Yes.
I love the sort of horse and ring like posts that they have where you would almost feel like I'm going to just park my chariot or my little horse here. I mean, it really felt like we're walking down streets. Coronado has large, wide walkways.
And very southwestern
Yes. Rocks.
landscaping.
And, yes.
And it's beautiful.
It's rocky cactus,
Yes.
very,
very desert-like.
Uh-huh. This is more lush. It's more green.
It's us.
It's us.
It's
yeah.
our style because, like I said, we live in a historic part of
Cobblestone.
Yeah.
Is fantastic.
beautiful.
Fountains.
and each building was a little different. Mm-hmm. All right, so when we walk into the French Quarter, we notice the streets are cute.
Yeah.
The street lights, and then like the buildings are different. Well, then we keep going, and then we notice, oh wow, this is a huge resort.
Yeah. So,
it's
we
not
found
just
ourselves,
the French Quarter.
Yeah, we found ourselves on the way to the walkway for Riverside to get over to Port Orleans. And that's when sort of our breath was taken because we went, yeah, this is
Oh, it's gorgeous.
This is where we want to stay.
Absolutely gorgeous. Like the waterway, everything about it was just, and again, we would never have done that if booking a vacation, listing the hotels, it would have never caught my eye, really. I know we've heard one or two people recommend it to us, but we also were like, well, we have ours that we've gone to. And so the only way that we would have ever seen this is taking a day and just gone to different resorts. And it was beautiful. So, I mean, and then you get to the lobby area, to the big building. And that's, the cafeteria is wide open, very nice. It's got that the wheel in the water,
the old mill. It almost looks like. I loved what we really do, guys. We walk through, we go in, we actually will get in line and we will look at the menus. We will compare what food items and selections they have versus what Coronado has. Coronado, you always have your standard. You've got pizza, you've got your burgers, you've got chicken, but then Coronado brings in your nachos or like a Southwest omelet. So there's always something special on their menus, and we're always like, ooh, wonder what this one has. So with French Quarter, they had sort of that brioche bread, very French inspired. You could get beignets, you could get sort of the things that you would expect. And then when we went into the food court at Port Orleans, we found the dining room to be a lot more open. Obviously, it's a bigger resort than the French Quarter side, but you didn't feel like you were swallowed up like Pop Century. It felt like it's still that vibe. Yeah.
It's still the Coronado vibe.
Right.
Where it was very relaxed. It wasn't, I don't want to say it was not kid friendly, because all of them have pools and they have activities and they have a ton of stuff going on, but it's just, I think it's the pulse of the result of the resort. That one had one that was like Coronado.
Yeah.
And one of the, and let's not forget, one of the most important things that we look at is the gift shop.
Yeah.
How awesome!
We love a gift shop.
How awesome is the gift shop in the resort? Coronado is good. It doesn't have a ton of stuff and it's very classy, which is great. Which is, but for us, we are the type that I want to be hit in the face with everything Disney.
Yes.
So just Disney, and I want it themed. We always get a pin from the resort we stay at, and we try to get a shirt, whatever. Like, we really like to, wherever we're staying, that's our team.
We take a memento, we take a souvenir, and that's just us. And with the Port Orleans Riverside was that general store vibe, which Woody loved
I
right
loved
away.
the theme of Port Orleans.
You loved it.
I loved it.
And it had sort of that whole candy section that obviously Coronado didn't have, but where it almost felt like, that beautiful Minnie's Sweets and Treats, the confectionery place. It felt like that. It felt like a little mini tiny, and you could have the bags and you could fill up Jelly Belly, like that was there. And a lot of the kids were taking advantage of that. But again, it just felt like the Pulse that we love, which is slower, which is a little more quieter. And it just didn't seem as busy. It just didn't seem like the hustle and bustle was just all around us. It just felt like, wow, this is vacation.
And you can take a boat from Port Orleans Riverside over to Disney Springs. They have like a little shuttle. They have like a shuttle that you can take from there. That was a cool addition. We'd never noticed that before. Like
right.
we were so used to the buses, and then we get there and it's like, oh wow, you could take a little friendship boat or whatever they call it. I can't remember what they call it. Over to Disney Springs and where else? You could take it there. I think there's other places, but yeah, it was an amazing resort. So,
yes.
But then from there, we actually took the boat to, where did we take it to? Epcot.
Mm-hmm.
We took it to Epcot.
Yes, we went to Epcot, and then that is when we encountered the Skyliner for the first time. We got off the boat, and you were right there to either go into the park or you could go and get on the Skyliner. So we got on the Skyliner for the first time, which was super exciting. And we took the Skyliner to the transfer
at Caribbean Beach.
Yes.
Yes. So we got off at Caribbean Beach and looked at that resort.
Yes.
Because that was on the way. That was that was one of the stops. And so that had a much more family vibe to it. Like you instantly get off and you hear just a ton of kids and a ton of families, and you can tell that just about every person in that lobby is with like 5 other people. They've got grandma and grandpa, they've got the little kids, and it was a beautiful resort. I mean, beautiful, but much more family oriented, I think.
Yeah.
Unless we called them at different times, but yeah.
And we walked Caribbean Beach. We walked that
You have to
resort.
walk a lot. Like when you get off the Skyliner, I don't know where the buses let off because we ended up taking Skyliner, but that's a hike from that to the lobby, which is, I say lobby, that's just the main hub of every resort, with the cafeteria, the gift shop, all that stuff. Now, the gift shop was nice.
Yes.
There, that was very themed and a little bit bigger.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Caribbean, I didn't like it as much.
Right.
I didn't dislike it. it wasn't my thing.
Right.
Like the pool was cool because it had like a pirate's theme to it. But everything else, it's very beachy, which is good. If you're going to Florida for vacation with the family and you want the resort for a couple of days and maybe go to the park a couple of days, like it's wonderful for that. But for us, it was just a lot going on. It was a lot, just a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So we went there, and then we ended up taking the Skyliner to Hollywood Studios after that. And then again, Hollywood Studios just seemed to be the default hopper hub for us. And then we ended up going to, we found our way to Animal Kingdom Lodge. Oh.
And Fort Wilderness.
Let's
just talk a second.
Right, let's do Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Okay.
First. Man,
wow.
That place is. Whew.
We ended up staying for dinner.
Yeah.
Which was great.
Yeah.
We got off of the bus and we walked up the path, and immediately you could just sort of see, okay, there's a lot here. We had to kind of ride the bus a few stops before it got to the Jambo House. And when we got out at the Jambo House, we said, oh man.
It was like unlike any resort that we had seen, really. It was a great hall.
Yes.
Now listen, when you pull up to Animal Kingdom Lodge, you're looking at it, you see a wall. Like you see these walls and you're like, what in the world? Like, okay. Like, if you don't know about it, like, it's like, okay, what is this?
Yeah.
And then you walk in and you see why the walls are there with the rooms. It's because the Animal Kingdom is butting right up to the the lodge, and the animals are coming up to the windows.
Giraffes, zebras, some sort of deer. They were roasting s'mores out in the sort of, I guess, I don't even know, you wouldn't call it pool area, but it was more like a hardscaping.
Yeah.
Out.
It was like you were in part of Animal Kingdom, honestly.
Yeah.
But you had a fence that you walked up to. It wasn't like glass. It was like just a fence that you could, actually see the animals through. And it was wonderful.
It was.
Like I know that's a different price level.
Oh,
Obviously, that is a deluxe.
Sure.
Deluxe. But that, I mean, you walk in and there was a guy carving a statue over in the corner. Gift shop was wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
Very themed.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole resort was just very well themed. Like, you instantly knew like you were in like Africa.
Yes.
And if you're a fan of Lion King, absolutely you got to stay there. I mean, it's wonderful. But it was just huge. And then you walk out, you see the animals. And then we went down and looked at there's 2 or 3 restaurants. It was probably more than that, but there's a big buffet restaurant that was like, what, $30 per person?
Yeah, $29.
Yep. And then there was another table place to eat.
Yeah.
And then we found the cafeteria, which was almost empty.
It
was
empty.
It was like 4 people in there.
You could definitely tell that the cafeteria was not a big of priority at this resort. The quick service dining type thing.
It was smaller than Coronado.
It was definitely smaller than Coronado's Mercado, and it was absolutely charming. It felt like, it wasn't such a priority for that resort because obviously families that are staying there probably are going to go to the table dinings, or they're out and about at the parks dining, at different places, maybe even Epcot, wherever. But we sat down, we ordered, I think I got the chicken nuggets, fantastic. We got
the least themed food that you could get.
Yeah.
I got the chicken parmesan sandwich or something, and it was
so good though.
It wasn't at all wilderness themed, but it was great. It was quiet. It wasn't, but it was definitely a family resort because there was kids there, but it was just, it had a very chill vibe to it. But as far as like the theming and just the size of it and the fact that animals are right there was absolutely wonderful.
You can't beat it. And it was just precious for us because that was our anniversary. So that was the night, and we got a mini cupcake, which was delicious. So the bakery options there were so different than Coronado.
Yep.
So every resort has something special. And I think that's why hopping is so fun for us, because you get to experience that. So after Animal Kingdom, we decided to take a little trip over to Fort Wilderness. This, by far, Woody, was my favorite.
Yeah, I could tell when you walked in.
I just thought, for one, my family and my dad still lives in a log cabin. So log cabins have a little special place in my heart. Grew up in one, and all of it's crazy. There's a sense of log cabin-esque in my bones. So when I walked up to the first door and were wonderfully greeted by some sort of manager or cast member, it was like we were in another world. I really felt like this is so beautiful. And just walking into that lobby area, you saw an arcade, you saw the gift shop, which was great.
It's probably my favorite.
Yes.
Gift shop. The style of merchandise in there was it's like if you campy, yeah. And very subtle too. Like the shirt that I bought there was just subtle.
Yeah,
and that's a great word for it. And it was by far Head and Shoulders my favorite gift shop of all the resorts.
And when you buy a T-shirt at Disney in 2019, you're going to pay $34.99. And for my husband to buy a T-shirt,
I gotta love it. Like I mean, let me tell you, this is sidetracking, but before we left, I wanted to wear a Disney shirt every day.
Yeah, you're
so
cute.
But being the cheapskate I am, like I'm not gonna pay that. So my lovely wife, she went on eBay. And you stopped me up.
I did.
Like you were paying $2 or $3 for shirts, right?
Disney on a dime.
Disney on a dime. And so like I went with a brand new shirt. Well, it wasn't brand new. I mean
pre-owned
shirt every day. and rocked a new shirt
Yep.
every day. And then so I go to Fort Wilderness and I instantly see this shirt and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that shirt. And we got a coaster too with Smokey the Bear on
Yeah,
it.
I mean, who the
I
heck-
just love the vibe. I absolutely love the style
yes.
of that place.
The fireplace, the
Oh.
rocking chairs,
Oh.
everything. And I think him and I both thought, Christmas. We want to come
Christmas
back
there.
for Christmas. We did take a look at the dining. Again, small.
Looked great though. I mean,
Yep.
we didn't eat there because the timing wasn't right.
And it's another deluxe resort. It's another one of those luxury ones
Those more
that
expensive ones,
when
yeah.
we price a Disney vacation, we can't even select it.
And we don't even look at those. But I'm gonna be honest with you. This is the first time. Like I loved Animal Kingdom Lodge, but like Fort Wilderness was the first time where maybe we might save a little longer,
Right.
to stay there. Now, when we say the differences really are not in the rooms themselves,
Right.
because we've seen just about every room in the resorts, but not every room in each resort, just the style room.
Yeah.
But they all honestly are the same. They really are. Like they're down to the size, which doesn't matter because you're not in there a ton.
No.
They're all themed subtly. They're not like crazy themed, and this is every resort. The only difference that we really look for are the bed sizes.
Yeah.
Like we prefer a queen or absolutely a king.
Yeah.
But most of the value resorts have 2 double beds, and we just prefer a queen.
And the mattresses aren't as good. It's like as you
It
move
seems
up.
like they're different, a little different. Yeah. But I mean, so we really don't look at the rooms.
No.
The rooms don't matter.
Right.
It's like when you walk in, what is the feeling that you want to go back to the resort?
Yes.
That would make you leave the park and not be depressed.
Yes. Or to make you sleep in and eat at the resort rather than running to Gaston's Tavern to get a cinnamon
Yeah.
bun.
And this was one of those resorts
It was.
that you walk in and you're like, yeah, I'd come back.
Yeah, I
I'd
could
come back for
stay.
lunch. I'd come back for dinner, and I would hang out.
Yeah.
Because the lobby is very much like Animal Kingdom Lodge,
Yeah.
huge, tall, but very cabin feel.
Uh-huh.
And then you're looking out to the woods, and you have like a rock platform with rocking chairs, and it was beautiful.
And there was that water feature that you could walk across the bridge. Remember, it was
yeah. Yep.
It felt like, okay, really, this is perfect, Disney. Are you kidding? So for us, Fort Wilderness is a save 2 years and maybe go.
Yeah,
type
save up a little
resort.
bit more.
So then we decided to, and we do, we walk around, we take an elevator up and down. We really kind of get a feel for what it would be like if we were staying there. And that was one of those ones where it didn't take us 5 minutes to know that this would be something we would want to do.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Polynesian a little bit. We did visit Polynesian. This is the second time we've hopped. We did a lot of pin trading earlier in our vacation. So like in 2011, 2012, 2013, we really were into pin trading. Now we sort of get pins to remember, or if there's a really cool Star Wars one that he likes, or, a princess one that I like. It just felt like, wow, we were so concentrated on other things. Now it's really about what is the vacation going to look like for us. So when we visited Polynesian the first time, we were blown away. We thought, oh my gosh. But again, the pulse is high at Polynesian.
Yeah. All the families.
With the monorail and that sort of access, which security has heightened.
Yes, they have metal detectors
Uh-huh.
and they check your bag, which I don't remember them doing that before.
They didn't. I don't even remember there being gates like
No.
set up, or those sort of like to lead, parties to the left or to the right.
Yeah.
That is new. All of that is new. But access to monorail, access to Magic Kingdom, you can't go wrong. I mean, it is, as far as being at the Contemporary. That's the only other one besides Floridian.
And the view is beautiful.
View is beautiful. I mean, Polynesian is definitely, I would have to say, you would have to be a Polynesian, like, diehard, I think.
I think for me, it's just not my favorite theme.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice. It's got a beautiful view, and we even sat on the beach by ourselves and ate a Dole Whip.
We sure did.
And so it was a great experience. We sat for like 30 minutes like no one was there on the white sand where they have the alligator signs up now and
Yeah.
all that stuff. But it was, I mean, it's a beautiful, obviously a beautiful resort.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I think the theme does not resonate with me.
It doesn't give you the chills, I guess. Chills when you walked into Fort Wilderness. Chills when we walked into Animal Kingdom. So this Polynesian was this time we hopped. We just obviously we go to the gift shop. We go to see what's new. We love Polynesians food options. We've eaten their quick service and we have checked out obviously the Dole Whip selection. This time
Yeah,
you got
you can get Dole Whip there, which is nice.
you got lime,
because
which they didn't offer in the park.
No. And so you go to the park, you end up waiting 45 minutes for Dole Whip. We'll just shoot on over to the
That's right.
Polynesian Resort
If
and
nothing else, hop for Dole Whip.
hop for Dole Whip. But it's just not my favorite theme.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful resort, and it's one of the more expensive ones, so it's clearly, people like it. But for me, it's not my favorite. It's
Right.
just overly themed, and the theme was not me.
Mm-hmm.
And the gift shop was it's a little small. I don't know if it's, it had a lot of Moana. Mm-hmm. It had a lot, which is really nice.
Yeah.
I think that's nice. But I don't know. It's not my favorite.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite.
So then we monorail over to Floridian.
Yeah.
Here's my take on Floridian. I appreciate it. It's beautiful. It's a classic. You gotta see it to believe it type thing. You walk in and it definitely feels like I'm at a place. I feel like immediately my t-shirt and jeans need to be switched out.
I need my collar on, my
My
collared
Sperry's,
shirt,
yeah.
my pastel shorts. No offense.
So we go into Basin, which I always like to check out what they have. And so many people are so friendly. We did look into the enchanted tea room that's new
That was pretty.
over there. Really
That was
pretty.
nice. It was well done.
It was well done. A lot of people are hating on it because what does, Florida sort of Victorian architecture have to do with Belle and the Beast?
I think for that, I just think that they're picking characters and settings
Yeah.
that are just princess popular and that they can kind of theme and that people recognize. I know for me, like it's wonderful when you walk by like the enchanted, oh, that's sweet. Instead of calling it,
Right.
like the Floridian tea house.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I don't care. Slap a character on it, you get more money for me.
And I did see when we were there a princess tea party.
Oh, that was pretty.
It was so cute. They offered that when around the time that we were there. We kind of also check out the activity board because Coronado had paint your own Dia de los Muertos ornament.
Yeah,
that was really
that was
sweet.
adorable. Yeah.
They had like a sugar skull painting thing. It was really sweet. Fort Wilderness was offering like a glow and swim sort of pool party with glow sticks. And then of course the Floridian has sort of the enchanted tea party and the princess tea party.
Yes.
And so I think you can't go wrong, like you said, with putting any sort of princess or tea related, and that is Belle, right? That's Belle and the Beast. So I love that addition. A lot of people hate it, but I love it. It was beautiful. I love the dark colors. I love the gold sort of chandeliers in there, and it was packed. I mean, there was a lot of people in there.
I think it integrated well. It didn't throw me off.
Right.
It didn't like.
So we leave Floridian and then we are at Magic Kingdom. So we get off at Magic Kingdom and then what was next?
Because it's right. Like, we took the monorail
Mm-hmm.
back over. Okay, so for old time's sakes, we visit. So we went to Pop, after Coronado, our honeymoon. Like we stayed at Pop like 2 or 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
So Pop has this, if we need a quick Disney fix and we need it at a true value.
Yeah.
We always go for the value resorts. And listen, we stayed there a number of times, right? It's just, these are extremely kid friendly.
Yeah.
And that is wonderful if you have kids and honestly you're spending all day at the park and you just want somewhere to come back and sleep, just to crash. Like, these places are wonderful. But after, not to knock it, after staying in the new Coronado and then, you know, getting that feel and that, you know, that vibe to go over to Pop and Art of Animation, it can be a lot for people that don't, you know, we don't have kids going to Disney, you know, so, you know, but they're so family friendly that I recognize that this is a great place to bring your family, because the big shop, the gift shops are huge.
Yes.
Cafeteria is huge.
Huge.
Always like bustling and everything else. And then you can walk over to Art of Animation.
Mm-hmm.
They have a ton of pools, and there's always stuff going on at the pools. I think they had a movie night at Art of Animation.
Yes.
They had a movie night by the pool, which was
on a projector.
So cool.
It was great. The kids they offered floats. I remember they were giving sort of those little tubes that you could sit in. Yeah, it was great.
It was great. And it was towards the night.
Yeah.
For this. And it's just for those resorts, they just have a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
And for us, I don't know, like at Coronado, we would walk from our room, which is across the pond, and if you've been there, you kind of know, like, the tower is here, and then the restaurant in the middle of the pond, and there's like these bridges.
Right.
We were in like the ranchos.
The ranchos,
Ranchos across the thing. I mean, there were times we would walk across the bridge and there'd be no one else on the bridge. And and you know, it's selfish of me. But I like it. I like it like that, you know? Yeah. But like, you definitely go to Pop or Art of Animation, and it is much more family oriented. I mean, family friendly, and it's just a lot more. Mm-hmm. It's just a lot more people, a lot more going on, and they're still nice. I mean, they're nice, but you know, it was nice to go back to Coronado after seeing, you know, there's the other resorts.
Yes.
But now one that we went by, but we did not stop because I don't know if it's open yet, was the Riviera. And that one, like, if you take a Skyliner, you go through that station. Yeah. You don't get off because I don't think it opens till December. Maybe
it doesn't. Yeah, okay. December 16th, I think.
Maybe, yeah. And so you go through it. You go through that station and you can see it. That is going to be an absolutely stunning resort. Ugh. Like that, it looks beautiful. I love the style. I love everything about it. I wish it was in my price.
I know.
In our price range. But that is going to be, that one, I love now the me that my legs are exhausted after a week. I love the ones that are kind of close now.
Uh-huh.
You know, they're in the same
compact
building. Yeah, they're in the same building. Instead of like walking, God, it felt like we walked so many miles to get refills of our cups.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but yeah, so Riviera, that looks beautiful.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Definitely want to dream about staying there. And we'll hop when we go back.
When it opens, if we can get in, if they don't block it for only vacation holders, we'll sneak in. And
Woody's so scared that they're going to scan our magic bands and be like, oh, well, we see your Coronado Springs, or we see you're staying at the Pop Century. Would you like to take this bus back to your own resort?
Well, they do have, like, at, I believe it was Animal Kingdom Lodge, there's a club level.
Oh, yeah.
Up at the top where you had to put your magic band.
Definitely.
And we didn't qualify.
We sure didn't.
So I just I hope that Disney recognizes that this is what makes people want to stay at other resorts. Mm. And this, because that is the sole reason that we book at different resorts, because we test them out. Because there was a vacation offer for the Caribbean.
Yeah.
That was actually cheaper. Mm-hmm. And we said, oh, hold on, because it was a bounce back offer, because if you stay at Disney and if you book while you're at Disney, they offer a pretty substantial discount sometimes.
Yeah.
And so the bounce back offer was for a certain period of time, and she recommended Caribbean. And then so we were like, all right, well, let us check it out first before we book it. And then we went over there, and honestly, it was like, no, we're going to stay at Port Orleans or Riverside, because it was just too much going on for us. So I just hope Disney recognizes that, and then, like, just doesn't do anything to slow it down.
Yeah. Right.
Because I remember the first year we went, and I think we went over to the Grand Floridian for like, it was to Penn Trade or something. We weren't resort hopping or something.
Well, remember we heard about the gingerbread house.
Yes, that's why we went over there. So back in 2011, we went over to look at the gingerbread house, or 2012, 13, whatever. And then at that time, you could go up and you could actually swim in the pools of the different resorts.
Yeah.
And so we went and we were like, oh wow, well, like we could stay at Pop and come over and swim in the Polynesian or whatever resort. And then all of a sudden, like, I think the next year we went, sure enough, they had put the gates up and the magic bands, and that you had to, so I mean, I get that. I do not at all blame them for that. I think that's actually a smart move.
Yeah.
But the other part is, please don't limit.
Don't make us have to scan in.
Let
to
us
look at the
little
lobby.
moderate value people visit the deluxe ones every so often.
We promise we won't take up much of your time.
No. We just walk around and look up in awe and big eyes, hoping to stay there one day. So don't ruin that. Let us dream. Yeah. But it was like, from this last trip, it was probably my favorite thing that we did. And that was just hopping around.
Yeah.
It was, we spent a whole day doing it, and looking back, it was like, man, I had more fun doing that.
It was a really fun day
than I did. I obviously love the parks, but if you've gone a ton of times and there's not too many rides open, then, you're looking for stuff to do. And this was it made us book. I remember going to Port and being like, man, I love that.
Yeah.
And then we got on the bus and I literally booked our next year's vacation there because of that. So
definitely recommend, if you're going to take a trip over and you only have, we've only got enough to get 3 park tickets and a park hopper, but you want to go for more days, make time in your trip or in your, stay to reserve a couple days, one, to enjoy your own resort. We did actually this time bring our bathing suits, the first time in the many years we visited Disney, knowing that maybe we will spend some time swimming. And at Coronado Springs, there's a 24-hour pool, which was different than Pop Century because I know that closed at like 10 or 11.
And the main one at Coronado closes.
Right.
This one's like a smaller one heading back in the
my goodness.
6 and the number 6 and 7 area that we stayed.
And we were the only 2 people.
Alone, and it was wonderful. So we had this big pool, and it was awesome.
It was. And what I really loved, I think, most about that this time that was different than other times is that we purposely had time to say, hey, look, let's go take a nap. And we hadn't done that before. We'd been more afraid we were going to miss something. But this time we napped, we slept in a little bit. So this was truly the best, I would say the best vacation we've taken.
Vacation.
Yes.
Like actually taking a breather.
Yeah.
And taking it in, because before it was a marathon for every resort and staying absolutely till it closes and then coming back and then just being exhausted. We actually took a day. Yeah. Take a day and just kind of hop around. If there's a resort you want to look at, it's just fun. Go to the gift shop. Get they have little differences that are worth, like I know I keep saying Port Orleans and Riverside, but they actually had like Princess and the Frog merchandise there that they didn't have at the other ones, and it was
or
just like,
even in the park.
Yeah, even in the park. So check it out.
It was resort specific. I loved it. So that will do it. We will wrap up this episode of Woody's Roundup. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you on the next episode.